There's a difference between being interested and committed. It's often been said that when you're interested, you take action only when the circumstances allow. But when you're committed, you take action regardless of the circumstances, even in the toughest of times. And you don't focus on anything but results, no excuses. So my question for you is, in the things that are most important in your life, are you interested or are you committed? Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. Are you interested or are you committed? You know, several years ago I was in a conference and the speaker told this little story that I think illustrates this really well. He said, I had bacon and eggs for breakfast this morning. The chicken was involved. The pig was committed. Are you interested or are you committed? You know, I've had the honor of teaching tens of thousands of martial arts students throughout my martial arts teaching career. And I've got, at this point in time, well over 1,500 students who have tested and achieved their black belt rank. And when I think about all those students, I can think of only two of all those students that came through my doors that had all the attributes necessary to be a black belt. They had focus, they had concentration, they had all the things that necessary, balance, speed, tenacity, flexibility, all those things. And only two of those eventually made it the black belt of those, but there was another 1,498 that did also. And what was the differentiating factor? Well, those people decided that they were committed to earning their black belt. That despite the difficulties that they had in their lives, the difficulties they had physically, mentally, emotionally, they were going to continue to push through. So where are you at in that? You know, because we say in martial arts that a black belt is a white belt that never quit. A black belt is a white belt that never quit. And can you say that about yourself? Can I say it about myself in the things that are most important to me? So as we're on this topic, I've got 3 ideas that I'd like to share with you that I think if we adhere to these ideas and these practices, what we can do is we can really move forward to be the best we can be and achieve the things that are most important to us in our life. So when you're looking at being committed versus interested, the first thing is do something I call pre-commitment. Pre-commitment. That means if there's an activity that you've committed to doing, what you do is you make sure that you do all of the things necessary in advance to make sure that when it's time to do and it's time to act, it's as simple as it can be. You know, some people look to release weight and get in better shape, and so they decide they're going to get up early in the morning and work out. But they make that final decision when they wake up, when the alarm goes off, and they're all nice and toasty in that warm bed. But someone who pre-commits, what they do is they literally have their workout clothes right at the end of their bed. The shoes, the warm-ups, they're all right there. And as soon as the alarm goes off, they're already pre-committed to pop up and get dressed as fast as they can so they can get to the gym or get on the streets and take their walk or do their run. They pre-committed. They pre-committed. Number 2 is to schedule it. The things that are most important to us when we really get honest with ourselves are the things we schedule. So if you've said that having an intimate relationship with your wife or your kids or your friends are most important to you, you have those things scheduled in your calendar and you work everything else around those things versus just getting to those when you have enough time. Because generally what we find is that nature seeks a vacuum. So where you've got holes in your calendar and you think you're going to be able to do things, there are other things I can almost guarantee you they're going to show up. So are you willing to schedule the things that are most important? And then finally, number 3 is to focus on the 1%. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, you know, many times when we want to have big breakthroughs in our life, what we do is we focus on the big end result. And sometimes that's beneficial, but many times it can seem so daunting we don't even take action. Or we come out strong out of the gates and we're not able to maintain. But what I always like to do is tell my clients is focus on the 1%. Getting 1% better each and every day, 1% closer to your goal. Now, when you think about this, this can be really powerful. In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about this idea of compounding great habits. And basically, the example he uses, he says, you know, if you decided to get 1% better each and every day at something, and you were committed to that over the course of a year, at the end of the year, you'd be 37 times better than when you started. So now what if you did that for 2 years? Well, many would think we'd be 74 times better. You just multiply 37 times 2. But that's not what happens. You see, if we decided to get 1% better every day over the course of 2 years, we'd be 1,400 times better than when we started. Because good habits don't add up, they compound. And if we did that for 5 years, guys, we'd be 76 million times better. So you can see the idea there. So my question for you is what are you doing each and every day to move toward your goals in a committed fashion? Because generally speaking, what happens is when we focus on small incremental growth each and every day, we can achieve massive results. So there you have it, my friends. There's some of my ideas for helping us distinguish between being interested and being committed in our lives. And what is that for you? And what's one thing you can commit to today to start taking actions on so that you can show your commitment to what's most important to you? So thanks so much for joining me. This has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.